The LA Sparks. Right now, they are sitting in 9th place in WNBA seeding, which means that they still have quite of an uphill battle to go. I want to talk about what's coming up for the LA Sparks, right? 19 and 20, sitting at that 9th spot. For the upcoming games, they have a lot of opportunities. I feel like in terms of the teams that I'm talking about today, like in terms of the Sparks, the Storm, the Fever, I feel like the Sparks are in the best scenario of choose your own destiny. I think that's what this is. Because the LA Sparks have a lot of chances to make some stuff happen, but they got to show up and step up their game, right? When we talk about the LA Sparks coming up, they will see the Atlanta Dream twice. Now, the Atlanta Dream is rocking and rolling. They're looking very, very good. However, we all know any and everybody can and will get got. And for the LA Sparks, yes, uphill battle, but you play the Atlanta Dream twice. Both are away. The A means that it's an away game. All right. Parentheses A means it's an away game. So they're playing the Atlanta Dream twice away. Then they play the Dallas Wings. Then they play the Mercury away. And then the Aces. Now, the LA Sparks can choose their own destiny on whether or not they are able to make the WNBA playoffs. But to be completely fair, yes, Tisha, that's a super hard schedule. It is. It is, but I think they have a chance. I think they have a chance. I really do think they have a chance. But in order to do that, this team needs to win basically 4 of these games to guarantee they have a playoff spot, right? Dallas, you see that as a possible as an easy win, hopefully for the LA Sparks. For the Atlanta Dream, you're gonna have to play up. You are going to have to play up. Right now, Ghost is predicting that the Sparks go 1-4. I think the conventional wisdom says 1-4. They'll go 1-4 with the rest of the schedule. However, they have a lot of games, and who knows? Who knows what can happen? Okay, who knows what can happen? But we're gonna go through all the teams, and we're gonna go back and talk about it. Okay, so I'm gonna show y'all some information, and then we're gonna go back and have a conversation. Talk about draft picks. Because when we talk about the case for and against making the playoffs, the number one thing in our minds needs to be next year. We got to look at we have to look at the draft and draft prospect. Here's the thing: the teams that don't make it in to the playoffs, they're gonna get entered into the lottery, which could be very helpful for certain teams, right? First up, let's look at the LA Sparks. Here's the thing: the LA Sparks are in a not so great position. Not a great position if they don't make the playoffs. There is no incentive for the LA Sparks to lose and not make the playoffs, right? The reason why is because remember, guys, y'all remember that 3-way trade that we saw in the offseason, right? The trade between the Las Vegas Aces, the LA Sparks, the Seattle Storm. Well, yeah. The LA Sparks are paying for that trade. Now, was it a good trade? Yeah, of course. It got Kelsey Plum to the LA Sparks, and that has been working out very well. But if the LA Sparks do not win at least 3 out of the next 5 games, and they don't make the playoffs, well, that lottery pick that they're going to get, they don't keep it. It doesn't go to them. That lottery pick will go to Seattle. So Seattle is very much looking forward to the LA Sparks losing because Seattle will benefit severely if the LA Sparks don't make the playoffs because LA doesn't own their first round pick. Now, the LA Sparks do have Seattle's second round pick for next year, but I'm not talking about second round. I am specifically talking about first round, okay? So LA does not own their pick. Their first round pick is going to Seattle. When we talk about whether or not it will benefit a team in the long term or the short term to not make the playoffs, not only do we have to talk about the draft picks, But we also have to talk about coaching because, some hot seat coaches out there if they don't make the playoffs. We saw it last year, the great exodus of the WNBA, where teams lost in droves their head coaches, where it felt like you don't make the playoffs, you're out of here, bucko. We'll see what this year has to offer. Now, I wanted to have this slide because I wanted to talk about where I felt like things were. Now, when we look at coaching, well, Lynn Roberts is in the best situation possible, in my opinion. Lynn Roberts is the best situation possible. The LA Sparks are looking a whole lot better. The decision to bring in Kelsey Plum has been very, very beneficial. We're seeing Rickea Jackson develop a whole lot more. We're seeing Azurá Stevens do her thing, have a most improved season, right? We're seeing Dearica Hamby be Dearica. We've seen a lot of success from this team, and I think we're starting to figure out what a Lynn Roberts offense and defense looks like in the WNBA. And I think the LA Sparks are in a really good position. I think they're in a really good position. Like this, remember, guys, the LA Sparks have not been that great. Big Girl says, don't forget Tyler March. Here's the thing. In this stream, I am only focusing on 3 teams. So if you talk about a team that is not the LA Sparks, the Seattle Storm, or the Indiana Fever, guys, this is not the stream for you. We will have another stream where I will specifically talk about Tyler Marsh and Chris Clanis and the other coaches that are, in a warmish season. So specifically, we're only talking about LA, Seattle, Indiana. So I'm not ignoring other coaches. This is just not the time to talk about the other coaches. Okay? All right. So here's the thing. For the LA Sparks, in order to really appreciate where the LA Sparks are right now, well, guys, you have to understand where they were before. And I gotta say, we have seen a better LA Sparks this year than we have in the past. Now, let's go back to 2024. In 2024, we saw the LA Sparks win only 8 games. They didn't even win 10 games last year. The LA Sparks with head coach Kurt Miller were trash last year. Now, yes, was a huge part of that Cameron Brink getting hurt? Yes. If Cameron Brink was not hurt, maybe the LA Sparks win more than 10 games. Do they win 20? No. And so when we're looking from last year to this year, Rickea Jackson has been playing much better from the start in terms of her actually getting minutes. Because remember last year, originally, Rickea Jackson wasn't really playing. And then she kind of forced the conversation to be like, no, you better play me because every time I get in the game, I'm doing something good. You better play me. And then she started playing later in the season. But it was just a lot of missteps. A lot of missteps for the LA Sparks last year. And they were like, you know what? Kurt Miller, let's mutually decide for you to go. They bring in Lynn Roberts, the head coach of Utah. Lynn Roberts had an incentive to leave because Utah was going from the Pac-12 to I don't even know what conference they're in right now, and she didn't want to not coach in the Pac-12. She's like, let me go on to the WNBA. Let me see how my system works in the WNBA. And she has, with the help of the newly acquired Kelsey Plum, she has helped to reinvigorate this team, right? This team looks a whole lot better, a whole lot more confident, and it is a whole lot funner to watch, right? Cam Brink is finally back. You have, again, Azurá, Dearica playing amazing. Rickea Jackson is amazing. I mean, Kelsey Plum, we already knew what she could do. All that good jazz. Lynn Roberts is in a perfect situation. She has turned a team that was 8-32 last year to 19-20 this year. She is super safe. I don't anticipate anything negative happening to Lynn Roberts in this offseason. Even if they don't make the playoffs. Even if they do not make the playoffs, Lynn Roberts is going to be fine because she has turned this team around. Okay? Let's go team by team, and let's talk about the case for and against the playoffs. The case for the playoffs for the LA Sparks is that they have nothing to lose, right? If they don't make the playoffs, they don't benefit with the lottery pick. They don't benefit, right? Because they don't even own their lottery pick. Remember, guys, if the LA Sparks don't make the playoffs, that lottery pick is going to Seattle. So, nothing to lose. You have absolutely nothing to lose. Nothing. Right? The case against the playoffs is nothing for LA. Because, again, LA does not own their first round pick. So, to me, the case for and against for LA is just make the playoffs. Because you don't benefit from not making the playoffs. You don't. Not at all. Because you don't even own your draft pick. So, for LA, make it. If you don't make it, it's fine. You're a whole lot better than last year. And you have a coach for the future. Now, you want to talk about a modern coach? A modern coach? That's Lynn Roberts right there. Yeah, that's Lynn Roberts, right? And the way they play, yeah, that's a different style than anyway. Anyway, let me get off that. Okay, next up, the Seattle Storm. The case for making the playoffs is to save Noel Quinn's job. I think Noel Quinn will be severely in the hot seat, likely fired if they don't make the playoffs. So the case for making the playoffs is you save Noel Quinn. Save Noel Quinn. And actually show off the potential of the Seattle Storm team. The Seattle Storm is a team that can make it to the second round, right? They have a chance of messing around and finding out, of another team messing around and finding out, and Seattle making it to the finals. It's a possibility. Now, is it likely? No, not likely at all. But you never know. So for the Seattle Storm, it's all about making it to the playoffs because you save your coach. You can save the identity of this team. Here's the thing. Not only is Noel, in my opinion, going to be gone if this team does not make the playoffs, but also Skylar, NECA, I don't know about them two leading this team for the foreseeable future, because the Seattle Storm ownership wants a championship, right? You bring in 2 stars, didn't work last year with Jewel Lloyd. Okay, you reset this year, bring in some other players, and it's still not going to work. I think they may be on another team next year. I'm just saying. For Seattle, as I said before, it doesn't benefit them. If they don't make the playoffs, because they do not own their first round pick. Their first round pick goes to Washington. So if the Seattle Storm do not make the playoffs, well, the Washington Mystics have 2 lottery picks for next year, right? Amarachi says NECA might go to the Sparks next year. I could absolutely see that. I could totally see that, guys. I really could.